Right here, we got another version of the 2024 Chevrolet Blazer EV. This is the 2LT all-wheel drive, which is currently the entry-level model when it comes down to this Blazer EV. And the new color for 2024 throughout the Chevrolet lineup is Riptide Blue, and I think it looks really cool, where you do get a chance to see some of the styling, the black accents, and the detail, as opposed to the other black one, which I showed in a video earlier. Now the 2LT gets a little bit different of styling compared to a 1RS. When we were doing the version of the 1RS, you had your daytime running lamps that would come over, and then this would also light up into the bow tie. Here, you get more of a black accent that will come in, and the bow tie is actually gold because it's not an RS version. On the side profile, as I was saying, you get a little bit different of a wheel combination, but again, these are some Bridgestones 255/60 R19s, but again, this black and machined aluminum, so it's very aerodynamic with only a couple little pockets for the air to get into. Again, with the Blazer, you don't get any grill, so there's no hollow aspect, but what I do like is they put a little detail on the front where it just doesn't look like a flat plastic panel. Well, it definitely looks like an SUV, and if I look at the traditional version, you can see there's a lot of similarities in the styling between an ICE Blazer and when we're going to get an EV Blazer. A little different though, you can see where the window and the belt line kind of come through. This area here is a window, it's just incorporated into the back hatch design. And speaking of design, we get these all new taillights for Chevrolet that have first seen here on the Blazer EV. It's going to be coming soon on the Traverse, and I think the brand new Equinox is going to have a version of it, so you almost get like this boomerang effect, whether it's here or here, which turns out really cool. Now, it's an SUV, so the first thing that everybody wants is cargo carrying capacity, so you do get a generous amount of space both in this area, that's a 60/40 split, will fold down, little extra area that will have storage capacity underneath the trunk area. And as I close it down, a few extra details from the inside that I just want to point out. Now, your rear passengers, you're going to have a room for 3 back here, and also a little difference that we've seen with the other Blazers is these new stylized vents. On the LT, you're going to get these white accents, and it carries through to the interior up front. Between a 1RS and a 2LT, your layout is the same. You get this gigantic Google built-in infotainment system, plus a fully digitalized driver information center. And again, you can see these circular vents that comes all the way through as a cohesive unit. The 1LT gets the white stitching for contrast, where when we're looking at an RS, you got red stitching. And when I come into the front side, you look at these seats that'll come here, more of the white contrast comes in, and this is, you know, a cloth material up front, but you get more of the man-made materials, which is going to be like a simulated leather. Nice little design. I got to stop that. So your door panels, you do get a little bit of a different in texture and materials, which works out really cool. Again, you get more of that. You get this cloth material from the seats, which is also pulled down onto the side. And here you get more of a textured plastic here. And then this is kind of a same design, but in a shiny application that comes all the way through. And as I step in, if you haven't heard already, there's no physical push start button. All you do is just put your foot on the brake, and then the vehicle comes to life. Now again, we have this Google built in, so it's a gigantic interface that comes all the way across here. You get more of a, you know, a so-called quick menu, start menu over here. And then there is some gauges that they put in. Specifically, you get an off button. So while we're talking about that, you push this button here. It asks you if you want the vehicle off, and that's how the whole thing will shut down when you open the door on the inside. This is pretty self-explanatory, and you can change your views from here. So if you wanted, you know, 3 or 4 different views, it'll kind of come in on this side. Now, what I did want to explain, you'll see over here on the bottom left, is you got 350 kilometers right now. When I started the vehicle, it had 77% charge. So quick math tells me if it was at 100% charge, you get about 430 kilometers on a full charge. Now, One of the things that Chevrolet is doing, and we first see it here with the Blazer, is there's no traditional, pistol grip transmission selection, but what they done is more got back to, 3 on the tree kind of thing. So the column shifter is here, and as you can read it, you pull it towards you, pull it down, and now you're in drive. And then if you wanted to go into reverse, you just put it up through here, and now again you can see you get your rear view camera. Different ideas on this side. If you wanted to go to the overhead, you see how that works, and then you go to the side. Now I can look at a view at my wheels. If I needed to tow something, again, you can look at your hitch. And when everything comes to rest, you just push this little, you see here, it says P, push that, now the vehicle's in park. Now underneath all your infotainment system, you do get some additional storage. So there's a deep well that comes in through here. There's another well that sits in here, and I guess it would be for, if you wanted to charge, you get 2 USB-Cs that are available. And there's also a wireless charging available for your cell phones, and it'll fit most cell phones right now because that's probably about 7 inches wide. And this one in particular is the first time we've seen this. Right above me is panoramic sunroof that's going to open up all the way. So another area that's always been really, really popular when you're driving an EV is, here is our logo for Chevrolet for the one pedal drive it. And when I push this button here, it says on, but you can set the level. Did you see that here? It can be on or high or off, which means if you wanted to drive more of a traditional vehicle, coast to a stop, you're allowed to do that. This one's on, and if you wanted some extra regen braking, you can use that setting there. And if, again, what we're used to here is little paddle, you pull that, that's for your regen braking as well, if you wanted to not use your foot pedal down into this area. And one extra thing that I wanted to show you is drive modes. Now, you push this button, and then you can see you got normal or sport or snow and ice or my mode. So and then you have your little info, so it'll read to you, right, for city or freeway driving, balanced vehicle range. And if I wanted to use sport mode, more responsive driving experience, increases power output and tightens vehicle handling. So that's the way you could drive this. It's a Blazer. It's meant to be a sporty of the utility vehicle, so why not drive it in sport mode? Have some fun. Now, safety-wise, you're going to get the usuals. Up here, your front camera. You're going to get your forward collision alert, automatic braking, pedestrian detection, and all that other stuff. But one of the things you also get in your rear view mirror, your side view, you can see right in here, you get your blind zone alert as well as rear cross traffic alert. And then on the rear end, you get your little sensors for rear park assist, rear cross traffic alert, and automatic braking if any kids are in the way. So the 2LT and the 1RS, it really comes down to a couple of things. Obviously, styling you're going to notice, and if you want to live with the 19-inch wheels versus the 21-inch wheels, you can do that. If you need dual zone climate control and automatic climate control, then you're going to get a 1RS. But the 2LT is a very good starting point if you wanted to get into the Blazer all-wheel drive up here in Canada.